the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Starring that jet-A aerial ace, Rocket J. Squirrel. And his pal, Bullwinkle the Moose.
Hi, glad to see you again.
Likewise.
We got some great things on the show today.
Like what? Like what?
Well, you ought to know, Bullwinkle. You're in some of them.
Well, let's get started.
Well, there it is. Within that dusty box lies the fabulous Curwood Derby, whose wearer becomes the smartest person in the whole world. And who's about to buy the Curwood Derby? None other than Bullwinkle Moose himself. And do you know who's the happiest man in the world about it? Boris Badenov.
Don't shoot, fearless leader. Moose has found the Curwood Derby for us.
Well, Badenov, you locked in again.
Sure. As soon as Moose gets Derby, we take it from him. Then we rule the world.
We?
You rule the world, old boss fella, baby doll.
Meanwhile, inside the hat shop...
Are you sure that's the right size, Bullwinkle?
It says right here, 7 and 5/32.
That's it. Now I'll just...
One moment, sir. That'll be $8 even.
$8?
Even.
We don't have $8 even.
If we had $8, it'd be odd.
Then I'm sorry. This box goes back on the shelf.
Badenov, the moose must get that hat.
Leave it to me, fearless leader.
Gee, I sure wanted that Derby, too.
Well, hello. Are you ready for your question on our Moose on the Street quiz?
Who are you?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm your genial radio quizmaster, Art Looklater. Now, for $8 cash even, answer this one question. Who is buried in Grant's tomb?
Gee, I was reading about that just the other day. Do you know, Rock?
Sure, but I can't tell you. That'd be cheating.
Go ahead, I'm not listening.
Sorry, Bullwinkle.
Okay, I ask another question. For $8 even, tell me, do you know Planck's constant of quantum mathematics?
No.
That's right. No, you don't. Congratulations. Here's the $8 even.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Looklater.
Think nothing. Happy hat.
So, clutching Boris's $8 even in his hot little glove, Bullwinkle re-entered the hat shop and walked out with a hat box which, unbeknownst to our heroes, contained the fabulous Curwood Derby.
You haven't tried your new hat on, Bullwinkle.
See, that's right.
And the mighty Moose removed the baffling bowler from the box and put it on his head.
Say, it fits like a dream.
Yeah, and the square of the hypotenuse of a right-angled triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the two sides.
What?
I said the orbits of periodic comets have an aphelion at a distance of 77 AU from the sun.
Bullwinkle, what are you saying?
I don't know. It's just that la plume de ma tante est sur le bureau de mon oncle.
Bullwinkle, you're talking French.
Oui.
But you don't know French.
Non, je ne parle pas français.
It was then that Rocky noticed thin trails of smoke coming out from underneath the bowler.
Hokey Smoke, your head's on fire.
And Rocky snatched the Curwood Derby off Bullwinkle's smoldering scalp and fanned his brow with it.
What happened, oh fearless leader?
It's obvious, Badenov. The moose simply was not used to thinking. His brain overheated.
Do we grab the Derby now?
As we say in Pottsylvania, why not?
But suppose they snitch on us to the police.
Dead men tell no tales.
What about dead mooses?
Also,
Hot diggity. You mean I get to steal Derby and knock off Moose and Squirrel?
Badenov, be my guest.
You know, oh fearless leader, you're really a fun villain.
And Boris whipped out a large battle axe and began to creep up on our unsuspecting friends. Meanwhile, back at the Moose...
There, you've stopped smoldering.
I was pretty hot stuff for a while there, though.
I wonder what happened.
I don't know. I just put this hat on and said, I just figured there's a fiendish plot against us, Rocky, and somebody's hiding behind that bush right now.
Well, Bullwinkle was smart enough, but was he soon enough? We'll find out next time in 2 at 1 Blow or The Double Beheader.
Ready, Rock?
You sure you know how to work that thing?
No. Anyways, here's what it was supposed to look like.
The Yangtze River, which flows through northern China, not only provided the inspiration for the song Yangtze with a Laughing Face, but gives us the setting for our story. Centuries and centuries ago, the Yangtze was nothing more than a small pond that sat beside a palace belonging to a wealthy Chinese emperor.
Well, Honorable Cook, what have we for breakfast today?
Well, I can fix a scrambled egg roll. You like it?
No, I've a hot yen for almond duck.
That's all he ever ate. Almond duck, morning, noon, and night. And that's why the pond was always well stocked with almond-eyed ducklings.
You hear the big news, Foucault? Emperor gonna have almond duck this morning.
Oh, hot dog. I hope the cook picks me.
These almond ducklings live for one thing and one thing only, to have the honor of being fed to their beloved emperor.
Yeah, we're sort of like a duck kamikaze squadron.
Yeah. All right, handsome up, you birds. Here comes the cook.
The cook came to the edge of the pond and surveyed the ducks with a keen eye. That's when the ducks went into their act.
Look up by my ducky, what a ducky melody.
If you know Ducky like I know Ducky.
All the time, same old corny imitations.
So he simply selected what he thought was a good-looking duck.
Out for it.
Maybe we'll get lucky at lunchtime.
Yes, they all stood a chance of making good at the next meal, all but one. He was the ugliest almond duckling China ever spawned.
Boy, if this keeps up, I'm going to live to be 104.
And another duck got the honors.
Boy, I'm getting desperate. I got to use the old Chinese noodle.
Dinner time rolled around. The cook reappeared, and this time, the ugly almond duckling floated into view wearing a banner proclaiming that he was Miss America of 1922.
Say, if that duck is good enough to win Miss America title, he's good enough to be served to Emperor.
Well, it seemed as though the ruse would work. The ugly one was placed on a tray and set on the Emperor's table. But wouldn't you know, that day the Emperor was entertaining a guest.
Something is rotten here besides the Liederkranz. Guest of Emperor also wearing banner saying she is Miss America of 1922.
Now, you won't believe this, baby, but it was a tie that year.
That night, shortly before midnight, the ducks held a council.
The ugly duck is giving the pond a very bad reputation. If this keeps up, the Emperor might develop a taste for chickens.
So he took up a collection and paddled over to the object of their discourse.
Here's a sack containing 3,000 yen.
Roughly how much is that in American moolah?
Well, roughly speaking, I would say like $1.50.
Oh, boy. What do I do with all this loot?
Why don't you get talented so the cook will take you out of the pond?
Dawn found our hero flying into the nearby city of Taiping, where he enrolled at the Rock and Egg Roll Conservatory of Music.
Sure, I can teach you how to play music, but you're going to be the ugliest duck ever to graduate from here.
He studied night and day, and a few other Cole Porter songs, too, in the hopes that musical talents would counterbalance his ugliness. Finally, after 1 year of diligent practice on every instrument known to man, he headed back to the pond.
Handsome up, you guys. Here comes the cook to get the Emperor's breakfast.
The cook was amazed, for instead of the usual varied array of imitations, the ducks merely lined up and gave the floor to...
Holy mackerel.
Never had he witnessed such musical virtuosity. And at the conclusion, not only the ducks, but the birds and the fishes broke into a rousing ovation. The cook had no alternative but to pluck the exhausted duck from the water.
Now I get the orange sauce treatment, huh?
Oh, no. I'm going to mail you to Phil Spitalny. He can use a duck like you.
Failure again. In a sense, that is. The duck put in 2 years playing for Mr. Spitalny and then decided to form his own band. He did very well and even received an offer to play the palace. But the only palace that he really wanted to make good in was the Emperor's back home.
Hello, MCA. Cancel my road tour. Notify the trades. I'm giving up showbiz.
Back to the pond he flew, and what he viewed upon arrival startled him.
Oh, for the cry eye. The pond is still stocked with ducks who are prettier than me. Oh, I'm going to remain from here to eternity.
Suddenly, a Chinese frog leaped onto a lily pad.
What you got tears in your almond eyes for?
I'm as ugly as 4 days of bad weather, that's why.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are ugly. I was ugly once myself.
I can't believe it. How come you're not ugly now?
Well, I believe that's why.
I believe you believe, but what do you believe?
I believe that I'm good looking.
Well, this was something he hadn't tried. So for 24 hours, he believed he was no longer ugly. And you know something? It worked. By morning, he was the best-looking duck in the pond.
Oh, you got it made, kid. Oh, you're sure to get picked from the pond.
He was, but not by the cook. The cook selected someone else. Ah, but don't feel too sorry for the poor little duck. You see, his name was Donald, and he was taken by a man named Walt... Well, never mind.
That's right, and now I go...
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
Hi there, sports fans. Time to... wrong script. Hello, poetry lovers. Time for another bout with the bards. Today featuring that famous recipe in rhyme, pat a cake. Pat a cake, baker's man.
Hold it, Bullwinkle.
What's up?
That's a chocolate cream cake you got.
So?
You know what happens when you pat a chocolate cream cake?
No. What happens?
That happens.
Gets sort of flat, don't it?
Now what?
Well, the recipe says I roll it and pat it and mark it with a B and put it in the oven for Baby and me.
You're gonna give that to a baby?
What's a pat of cake taste like, Brock?
Sort of like chocolate cream pizza.
Yeah. Well. Hi there, sports fans. Time to...
And now...
Hey, Rocky. Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Meshy Falfoof out there. Peabody here.
Meshy Falfoof, Mr. Peabody?
That's Arabic for hello, Sherman. For our destination today is the Arabian Desert, the time 1917, and the man we're going to meet, the legendary Lawrence of Arabia. We set the Wayback Controls and were immediately teleported back through time and space. All of a sudden, there we were, inside British Secret Service headquarters at Cairo.
Gentlemen, I have two reasons for believing that Turkey is going to declare war on us. One, they've cut off our supply of Thanksgiving turkeys.
Oh, that's terrible. Bad show, that.
And two, they've sent a nasty letter to Parliament.
Oh, the devil you say. They wouldn't do this.
Now, we must send someone to steal the Turkish plans. Do I have any volunteers?
For some strange reason, the room emptied.
Dash it all, every time I ask for volunteers, they chicken out. I wish they'd turkey out this time.
Begging the Colonel's pardon, but you have a clerk in the outside office who can do the job. His name is Lawrence. The Colonel promptly called him in.
So, you think you can work undercover for us, eh, Lawrence?
I should jolly well like to try, sir.
Capital. By the way, what do you intend wearing as a disguise?
Instead of answering, Lawrence dashed from the room and quickly returned clad in a Santa Claus suit.
I thought I'd wear this Arab costume, sir.
Perhaps we better send someone else.
Mr. Peabody and I'll go with him.
Are you any good at Secret Service work, Peabody?
Colonel, I invented Secret Service. Convinced the matter was in capable paws, the Colonel bid farewell. That night, Sherman and I bought Arab outfits and went to Lawrence's hotel room.
I hope he's ready to go.
I hope he's wearing the proper disguise. But instead of being dressed like an Arab, he was dressed like a pilgrim.
How do you like it?
It's stunning, stunningly wrong. Grabbing a sheet from the bed and some mattress stuffing, we soon had him properly disguised. The next thing we did was to join a caravan heading into the desert.
Is the Turkish army out there, Mr. Peabody?
Indeed it is, and I must caution you both, don't do anything that would give us away. This caravan is undoubtedly crawling with spies.
Oh, you can count on me.
I was hoping I could, but the following morning when we paused at an oasis...
Tea time, chaps. Anyone for crumpets?
That was all it took before we were bound hand and foot.
Did I say something wrong?
You are all English spies. I, the Sultan, have ways of dealing with English spies.
We were tied to stakes under the broiling desert sun. And to show you how devilish that sultan was, he put bottles of suntan lotion just out of arm's reach.
How will we ever get out of this, Mr. Peabody?
How, Sherman? It's simple. You always have a candy bar in your pocket, don't you?
Yes.
Good. Reach in, grab it, and wipe the chocolate off on my ropes. And that's the boy. Now, if I know my camels, sure enough, the odor of chocolate attracted the nearest beast, and in no time at all, he was dining on the ropes. Before long, we were all free. Sherman, you and Lawrence wait here while I sneak into the Sultan's tent and get the secret plans. I made my way carefully past the Turkish guards and into the tent where the Sultan was resting. Inside a pouch labeled Secret Plans, I found what I was after. Unfortunately...
I say, Peabody, old chap, whilst you're looking for the secret plans, see if you can find a tea cozy.
Naturally, the Sultan awoke and immediately sounded the alarm. Quick, Lawrence, this way! We ducked out a rear exit while the guards began a frantic search. I'll go get Sherman. You saddle up a camel.
You can count on me.
Yes. I found Sherman where I had left him.
Peabody, Sherman over here.
I had instructed Lawrence to saddle a camel. Instead, he had saddled the Sultan.
Guards, come here, quick! The English dogs are here!
Before we could move, we were hopelessly surrounded. That's when I reached into Lawrence's pocket and pulled out a hand grenade. Stop! One more step, and I'll blow us right off the Rocky Show.
But I say, Peabody, old thing, that's not a grenade.
Later, Lawrence, later. The threat of an explosion did the trick. 1 week later, the entire Turkish army turned itself over to the British. Now, what about that grenade, Lawrence?
I was trying to tell you that's an apple. If you had pulled the stem out and thrown the ruddy thing, nothing would have happened. Watch.
Lawrence got 60 days for destroying Secret Service headquarters. As for the Sultan and his army, they were put inside large barns containing hay.
I don't get it, Mr. Peabody. How come they're in there?
Well, apparently, Sherman, somebody likes a turkey in the straw.
Last time, you remember, our heroes actually got hold of the Kerword Derby, which just happened to be the right size for Bullwinkle.
7 and 5/32.
And sure enough, when Bullwinkle put it on, he became an absolutely brilliant thinker.
In the Paleozoic era, the Cambrian period was followed by the Ordovician, Silurian, and Devonian.
What are you talking about?
Don't ask me.
Unfortunately, his brain wasn't used to it and began to overheat. So Rocky snatched off the derby and began to fan Bullwinkle's brow.
Tell me some more about the Paleozoic era, Bullwinkle.
Okay, but first, what is it?
Our boys didn't know that they were merely pawns in the fiendish game played by Boris and his fearless leader.
A game called Rule the World.
Any number can play.
Boris tried to sneak up on our friends carrying a battle axe.
We call it the Pennsylvanian equalizer.
But just as he was ready to swing at our heroes, Bullwinkle put the derby on and said,
The laws of probability indicate that we are pawns in a fiendish plot and that somebody's behind that bush right now.
Boris swung all right, but Bullwinkle's lightning brain allowed him to judge accurately just how far he'd have to duck, and Boris felled a tree instead, a tree which dropped right on fearless leader. The horrified Boris ran to his side.
Fearless leader, what have I done?
First, you have goofed another job. Second, you have shortened your life expectancy greatly.
No, wait, fearless leader. I'll get the derby. Double-cross my heart.
Very well, bad enough. Your life is spared.
Because you are so kind-hearted and generous?
No, because my gun is jammed.
And Boris once more set off after our heroes.
Gee, Bullwinkle, how come you're so smart all of a sudden?
I just figured it out, Rocket, old chap. This is the legendary Kerword Derby I'm wearing. It imparts a vast amount of knowledge to its wearer.
Then you must be the smartest moose in the world.
Would you like me to explain Einstein's theory to you?
Sure.
Well...
But at that moment, a strong gust of wind blew the bowler off Bullwinkle's bean.
Go ahead, Bullwinkle.
Go ahead and what?
Explain Einstein's theory to me.
Well, I'd be glad to. Just one question.
Huh?
Who's Einstein?
Bullwinkle, your hat's gone.
Uh-oh.
And our heroes dashed after the disappearing derby.
There it is, Bullwinkle.
Sure enough, a derby lay in the middle of the path, but when Bullwinkle put it on...
It looks smaller somehow.
Does fit a little soon, don't it? Maybe it shrunk.
Oh, little did Bullwinkle know, for he had actually put on a counterfeit derby, and inside that hat, a small but powerful time bomb was ticking away the seconds. Oh, who could have done such a... oh, don't tell me.
I got to. He's in the script. Me, Boris Bedenov.
Yes, the...
Ta-da!
Yes, the villain had switched hats with Bullwinkle and now had possession of the fabulous Kerwood Derby.
And now I put it on and I rule the world.
You and who else, Badenoff?
Fearless leader. Say, did you ever get that gun fixed?
Yes.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yes, things really looked bad for Boris until a familiar female figure crept out of the bushes on hands and knees and took up a position behind Fearless Leader.
Welcome, Natasha, baby. Am I glad to see you?
Oh, no, Badenoff. You don't trick me into looking around.
That was all right with Boris, for he pushed Fearless Leader over the kneeling Natasha and leaped on top of him, biting and scratching.
Oh, Boris, you are so brave.
When it's 2 against 1, I'm always brave.
And the two villains fought fiercely for possession of the all-powerful Kerwood Derby. Oh, which one will win?
What does it matter? We're both bad guys.
Gee, that's right. Well, be with us next time for Flower in the Hat or the Rose Bowler.
Well, I guess that about wraps up another Rocky show.
Certainly hope you enjoyed it. I did. I always say...
Bullwinkle, time for us to go.
Already? Okay, but first, here are some of the people who made this show impossible.
That's not all.
My fingers get tired. Oop! Got away from me again.
Well, see you next time. Ready, Bullwinkle?